So this is the first outdoor podcast I've personally ever done.
Florida outdoor. It just sounds right, you know?
It does sound right. And I want to say thank you for, this was your idea to actually have a outdoor podcast. And we need to say thank you very much to Maisie, the owner and operator of Buddy's Juice Bar. If you haven't come to this place yet, it's absolutely insane.
PB Twist. I just added.
PB Twist, right? The health shots.
Yes.
If you like juices and being healthy, come to Buddy's Juice Bar. It's it's located on Newport Avenue here in Tampa, and you can follow them at Buddy's Juice Bar, or just go to buddysnutrition.com. Come in, say hi to Maisie, and what's their saying? Eat healthy, live long.
Wow, forever.
something
Live
around
long
health.
forever.
Something around
Long
health.
forever.
All right. Come in, have a good time, say hi to Maisie for us. And thank you, Maisie, for letting us use this outdoor facility. This is absolutely awesome. All right. So, D, what I was thinking was for the first thing that I wanted to hit on, I want to hit on your story. I think it's inspiring. I think it's resilient. And I know that you've kind of started to share it publicly on Instagram and everything. So I kind of want to hear where you started and how you got to right here.
Well, that could take a couple days if you really wanted to dig deep into it. Scratch the surface of everything again, all right? So, started off in Wheeling, West Virginia. No. Started off in, I don't know where I was born, honestly, brother. I went into the foster care system at 3 months old. And from my knowledge, I was too young to remember the families we were with, but with 3 different families before a lady took me and my brother in. And I remember that was at like 4 years old. I knew her, and that's who I knew as my mother. And then was with her from 4 to 11. She developed cancer at I think at 10, and then at 11 she's passed away. Really, really tough time. Dad was in my life. Went with him every other weekend, and then as soon as she passed, he passed. Yeah. He didn't die, but he just ghosted me. Called him, his phone was disconnected. I don't know what's going on, and so that was that 11-year-old. And now my trauma starts. I mean, I don't know if it was really in the past. I might have had some or something, but I didn't really know as a kid. But the real trauma started because it's like, if I love someone, it's like they're just going to leave me. Even if the world just takes them from it, it's not, I mean, they can't do anything about it. But that, and then my dad doing the same thing, that just started that of anything in any relationship I would to be in whenever I grow up. But anyways, that happened. Went through some dark years. Dark years from 11 to 17. Dark. Thought about taking my life. Almost attempted taking my life, but I did not. And I don't know why I didn't. There's a lot of different things I could have did, but I just didn't do it. It wasn't that I was scared or anything. It's just I knew there was more. And I didn't know what the more was, but I just always knew there was more. Another example of me just having my self-control. Like my brother was my idol. We came through this. We did everything. Like that was my brother. Like every home I'm with him. Like this is my role model. He went down a different path after our mom passed, and he started being a D-boy. I don't know if y'all know that. I'm just gonna keep it at that. But it's crazy because I modeled everything he did, but I never did that. I never went down that path. And it's like I had my own self-control as a kid, and I don't even know how because I didn't have anybody to love me or anything. And that was the person that I knew that was like, I don't know, they cared about me. You know what I mean? So anyways, at 17, I got removed from the household that I was living in because I slipped up and told my social worker something, and it just, it was a blessing in disguise. Like I slipped up and told her something I would have never said, and I slipped up and said it and got removed from that house. Then I thought I was going to get shipped downstate or something to another home or something like that. And then a person that's already been present in my life stepped up, took me in, and life was a whole 180 after that. Everything just started to work out. So goals, that's the first thing. So first of all, love. I was absent of love for the last 7 years. Love stepped into place, and then love just unlocked so many different things for me, and it let me set goals. And as soon as I set goals and I accomplished those goals, the world was my BEITCH. Like it was over. I didn't even know what that meant, but like as soon as I got it, I just felt like I knew that God, someone believing in me, God, and I knew I could do anything.
Yeah.
So that was just the birth of the just wait on it mindset.
Yeah.
And yeah, so from there, anything that I've done, it's just been with that same mindset. Like, just work as hard as you can, and something's going to happen. It might not be exactly what you want, but something's going to happen as long as you are working hard. You can't lie to yourself about the work you're putting in. But yeah, so that's just been my life in a nutshell of anything that I've accomplished. I've accomplished some cool things, but I'm really hard on myself, so I don't really take. It's hard to even like focus on. I know I've done cool things, and I know it, but I can't even put in my mind that I've done cool things. I'm like, there's more I have to do, and it's a constant battle. But I've done some cool things, but it was all from that mindset that I did have.
Yeah.
And it's just got me to the point right now, at this moment, 2 years, full-time content creator. I'm free. I'm a free man.
That's beautiful. You're free. You're wearing a hat that says grateful. Are you grateful of that story?
I'm grateful for every piece of it. I would not want to go back. No, I would not. None of it. But I'm grateful for everything, because I see it as everything that you go through, you grow through. You know what I'm saying? You're just putting extra armor on each time, so nothing can phase you. You're just going to work harder doing whatever the next thing is that you want to do.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that we don't want to face, is when we have hard moments in our lives. In the moment of experiencing that hard time, we're like, I don't like this. Like, I really wish that this was different. I wish I had some out. I wish I knew what to do. The emotions, the experiences, it's ugly and it gets messy. And then somehow you get through it in some unpredictable way, uncertain way. And then a couple weeks, months, maybe years later, you look back and you're like, that was an important moment. Like, I kind of needed that. Like, I needed to get pushed through that process of managing circumstances that I didn't want. I think that's a skill, right? Because I think a lot of times that stuff can happen and we just go completely off the rails. So, I mean, do you have any moments that you can share with us that you remember you were in this, let's say, this negative headspace, and you were like, I have no idea how I'm going to get through this. And then miraculously, somehow you got through it. Any of those moments stick out to you where it's like, that defined me a little bit?
There's this one that I just thought of. I mean, there's many, but there's this one that just stuck out the most. So I decided to pack up my car and just go to Arizona. I thought everything was laid out for me. So I just recently left an internship in Tennessee, and I already made a promise to myself I'm not going to go back to West Virginia. So I was like, okay, where can I go? Arizona was just a move because I had a couple buddies out there. So one of my buddies said if he puts in a recommendation, I can get the job with him, a job with him. And then the other one said I could live with him just until, I don't know, I get on my feet or whatever. It was just a conversation, and everything seemed like it was laid out. So I don't know how long it takes to drive that far, but it took a long time. It was from Virginia
to Arizona? Yeah.
It took a long time. It took a long time. But anyways, as soon as I get out there, I wasn't living nowhere. Let's just say that. That fell through so quick. And then buddy, so like days or maybe weeks prior to me applying to that job, nothing happened. So I get out there, I still don't have a job, and I have all my money was on gas. I have maybe $800 stuff in my car and nowhere to live, no nothing. So I get there and I call them up that didn't work out for the living situation. Another dude, he couldn't really do anything. So I'm just like, what are we doing? So I went to a coffee shop, I just sat there. I was like, all right, what are we going to do? You just got out here. It's the middle of summer. It's hot. You can't even think because it's so hot out there. What are we about to do? So sitting there, I'm like, is there anybody else you know in Arizona? Like, what can you even do? And I remember there was this dude that did go to ASU years ago. And I was like, do I have his number? Found his number. And I was like, let me hit him up. I haven't talked to him in I don't know how many years. Like, I knew who he was. And I hit him up and I said, do you know anybody that lives in Arizona still? Like I can sleep on their couch for the weekend. And he was like, bro, I came back out here. He literally went to ASU, came to West Virginia, went back to ASU. Wild story. Anyways, yeah. So he let me stay on the couch at his frat house.
Really?
So I'm in a frat house. I'm graduated. I'm back at a frat right now. So
how old are you at this point?
I'm 25.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm 25 on a couch at a frat. Anyways, in this moment, I still didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anywhere to stay. This is just for the weekend. So like during those 3 days, I was just so lost, but I wasn't going to give up. I said, I'm coming to Arizona. You better figure it out. You're not going home. I could have easily went back home. I could have left my car there, got a flight. I would have regretted it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I liked being thrown in fire, and I knew I was going to make a way somehow. But anyways, it all started out with me staying at that frat house. I actually got to stay for 2 months rent-free. That was a blessing from above, even though it was a frat. I don't care. It was a blessing. So I got to do that, and I'm working as a trash man. Like I'm working, picking up people's trash. I'm going to apartment complexes, like 3 apartment complexes a night for like 3-4 hours. I'm picking up the trash. If you ever see Waste Management, like those trash cans outside someone's apartment, that was me. I was picking up your trash. Like I'm literally doing that, slugging around this big old tote with all the trash, bro. It was. I was just at a very low point mentally in my life because I'm like, what are we doing? Like, and this might be me trying to do the world standards. Like, oh, he's 25, he should have this, whatever it was. So I think I put a lot of pressure on myself at that time, but no, everything was exactly what it was supposed to be. I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to do that. Like everything just worked out the way it needed to. But yeah, those first 3 days, lost. I couldn't think of anything.
So, I mean, as you were talking, I tried to put myself in that scenario. And over the last year of my life, I've made some big financial decisions and things like that. And they weren't even close to that, right? They weren't even close to that level of, you know, hey, $800 in your car type of thing. And a lot of the times I think I judge myself as, hey, I can't believe you're letting this stress you out. You know, there's people who have been in 10 times worse scenarios than you. And that's where a lot of like my personal self-judgment kind of comes into play, where it's like, you're fine, like you're safe. Yet in our minds, we create this idea that like, I'm not safe. Right, and I need to take action, and I need to do this, and I need to figure this out. And I'm curious about, like, you talk about that judgment piece, right? Hey, I'm 25, right? I should have all of this. How do you manage? Because I feel like there's a lot of guys who struggle with the judgment piece. I mean, it's a human condition, right?
Yeah.
And I think especially with social media, right? We judge ourselves against everybody else, right? And then it turns into our own self-judgment. So how do you manage that self-judgment? So
I don't care. I don't care. That's the best way I can put it. I would say it a lot more aggressive, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
Think what you wanted. I know me. I love myself. I've been with myself this long. I've been through all of these things with myself. Who are you to say anything about me? I don't care what you think. I know what I think. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where I came to that point at, because I'm saying 25, I'm 31 now. I think just going more through it, improving myself, like getting through all of it and accomplishing major things.
Yeah.
I think that just gave me the confidence it just doesn't matter anymore. It's just you. This is your journey. Yeah. Everybody's journey is different. And then talking about what you were just now saying, I didn't understand this before, but I think I understand it now. So like how you were talking about, like you made big decisions financially and stuff. So think about this. We come from 2 different worlds. We look through 2 different lenses. What you went through can be a comparison of what I went through as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's no levels to it. It's like it is your level, and that was my level. You know what I'm saying? So you've been through your own stuff too, and you deserve stress if you need to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's important. It happened.
And thank you for saying that, because that's one of the things that I've verbalized that to people who I trust and value their opinions, and we've talked about this stuff, you know, off camera, and that's the similar response that I get, where it's like, that's your challenge, like work it, right? Like own that shit, right? Like that's your tough moment, that's your Rocky cutscene, where it's like, this is your hard stuff, and it doesn't matter if somebody else thinks it's hard. It doesn't matter if your mom or dad or brother, sisters, friends are like, oh, that's really not that hard. It's like, you're not the one paying my bills, right? You're not the one waking up at night going, geez, I really hope those 3 clients sign up. If they don't, I might have to cut back on this, I might have to cut back on that. So I think that's something for every guy who might be listening to this, where it's like, your challenges are your challenges. And you don't need to compare your challenges to others, right? You can be curious or interested in other challenges. Like personally, what you went through is extremely courageous to me, like the way that I view it. When I hear people's stories like that, I'm like, man, those are tough sons of guns. Those are resilient humans to go through that type of stuff. Because I personally haven't gotten to I was never at that point. Yet here's the things that I was at, right? Here's the things that I managed, and I might tell that story and somebody might say, hey, that's really hard to make that decision, right? So I think there's that proportionality to when it comes to challenge. So, all right, so now I want to shift into this content creation. How the heck did that happen? I think that's because there's probably so many young guys who are like, oh, I'd love to be a content creator. And I want to hear kind of how it happened, and I want to hear the dark side of content creation that I don't think a lot of people get to see, because I think you have the best perspective on it out of anyone. So tell me how you kind of shifted into that.
So content creation was something I was already doing since that just wait on a mindset. Like since we developed that, I ran into a problem with football. So we got new coaches in and stuff, and basically there was a coach that just didn't mess with me. He didn't even know me, but he just came in. I don't know if they had a depth chart set or something like that, but he just didn't mess with me. It was just like, oh, you're just going to be on special teams. And I'm like, huh? So that just lit a fire in me. I was like, just wait on it. It's like, just fully, here's my new goal. My new goal is I'm going to work so hard that you can't deny me. And then that's where I start making my crazy workout videos and stuff. That was me doing that, but on the side, I'm still doing all my football stuff, but I'm just destroying my body, but for good cause.
Yeah.
So anyways, I went in that spring ball. So like I was doing all my workout stuff, and I went in that spring ball. We had a new, it was him. He was our new D coordinator. Basically every day we had to get a turnover, 3 turnovers a day defense. We were actually we were top 3 defense in the nation. We were nice. And I was like, okay, we have 14 practices in the spring. You have to get 1 a day. You have to get 1 of those a day.
Yeah.
I got 12. And 1 in the spring game. Can't deny me after that. I got an interception almost every practice. Yeah. Like you can't deny that. So that was that. Anyways, but I was working as hard as I can. I don't know, work as hard as you can. Something's gonna happen. So my thing was, I did that, bro, and then I quit. I don't quit anything, but anyways, it's almost like I was doing. Like, did you see that? Like, almost a cry for help, and I'm like, just thinking about it now, I'm like, that was stupid. I don't know why you did that. But anyways, I quit and came knocking on my door, and that was a sign. That was just another reminder. Yo, if you work as hard as you can, you set a goal, something's going to happen. Yeah. So that happened with that. Anyways, but I'm doing the content creation during this time, and then that just opened up another door of just like, yo, I could do this. So I started doing my crazy workouts, then start doing like more like educational, like showing movements and doing stuff like that. And it was just good. People liked it because I got very creative. It was a way for me to express my creativity. Yeah. So I got into that. I never stopped. And I transitioned to like just doing, I was already doing my crazy obstacle course workouts. Now I'm just doing like this crazy, like a single video workout of just doing something just insane for no reason. And then I start getting the virality, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
That's nice.
But these comments, whoa. So that's a little
what
bit of dark
were some
side.
of the comments?
Kill yourself. You're so stupid. Why are you even doing this? What?
I've gotten a couple of those, and I'm not nearly as qualified as, and I'm using you as a model, in all honesty. And I get some of those. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with what we're putting out into the world.
At all.
Go kill yourself. It's like, did you even watch the video that I just put? Like, come on.
People, it's just like, I don't know if they do that for attention or a sense of belonging inside the comment section, or
Makes them feel big and strong.
I know they hate their boss. You know what I'm saying? They gotta lash out at somebody. I don't know. It's wild. Yeah, I've never understood that. But like, I had a video. It has over 750, three quarters of a billion views.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's on every major platform, like sporting platform on the internet. But the comment sections on all of them were just horrific.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand. But now sprinkled in there was like, do you understand how hard that was to even do something like that? Do you know? And then people broke it down. Like, do you know the core strength? Like, what you had to work to actually even be able to try that, like to coordinate, like all this stuff. But it was interesting. Let me get back to content creation. So we started doing that. And then around 2018, I got my first brand deal. It was an insulated water bottle. And it was just a free. It was gifted. And I was like, hey, I got my first piece of, I was so happy, dog. It's just this water bottle.
So how's a brand deal work in the content world?
So it all depends. Now where I'm at, it's just strictly paid.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that has value for me.
Okay.
So at the very beginning, got to start gifted so you can start a portfolio. So I start doing the gifteds, and then maybe you'll get something. Hey, we'll give you $20 if you post this, and we'll give you this free product. And you're just like, yo, $20 went to $50, $50 went to $100. And then my biggest one yet was, well, it was a one video, $3,000. Gatorade. $3,000.
And how did they so they called you, said, hey, D, we'd like you to do this?
Yeah, it was for Super Bowl 57 times Gatorade.
Okay.
They had a new drink that was coming out. They wanted me to put it out. It was somewhere on some Super Bowl commercial somewhere. I don't know. I still didn't see it.
Yeah.
Someone said they saw it, but I was like, why'd you record it? Like,
I would love to see that.
But yeah, so it's just crazy going from a gifted, lower end brand to a lot of money in Gatorade. Like, it's surreal.
Well, you were also on the billboard.
No, that's something else. I mean,
you were also on the billboard. For anybody who doesn't know, right? You were on a billboard here in Tampa for, what was that, the Crew for Tampa Bay Bucks?
Yeah.
Right? And then you had the Samsung one as well.
There's like 30 billboards actually. But
and then the Samsung one, right?
Yeah.
Right? That one you flew to Chicago where you did that awesome video, right? Like, I can't imagine. All right, so everything that you just talked about sounds awesome, right? It sounds really cool. And over the last, I would say, year, I've started to develop more content, start to put stuff out there for our Be That Guy program and just me and my personal brand. And I realized, I'm like, this is a lot harder than I think people give it credit for. Because I think we see content creators as these TikTok dancers, people who are just, hey, you buy this drink, wear this t-shirt, things like that. And it's like, oh, are they really putting in the effort to earn $3,000 for a 30-second video? And after this year of me kind of getting into this, I'm like, the amount of work required to creatively think every single day and know what angles will look good, know what cuts will look good, what edits you might want here, what transitions. Like, there's a lot of mental energy that goes into this profession. And so what is that dark side that all those people who are like, oh, I just want to be a content creator or YouTuber, don't see when it comes to creativity and consistency?
Well, first of all, I feel like a lot of people that get into it, they're just in it for the money. You know what I mean? Money, and then maybe the freedom aspect.
Yeah.
But they don't understand. They have to develop a why. Why do you want to do this? It has to be a strong why. Like, you have to have something to fall back on during the dark days. Like, why are you even doing this? It can't be money. Money's not that's not gonna hold you. What is your why? My why was always my main one was to retire Aunt Tracy one day. Like, she's the person that saved my life. And I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And it has to be within the next few years. It's gonna be in the next few years. But that was my main why. It's just like, yo, like, she saved my life let me just give her a treat somehow. So that was like one of my goals, and then the other one was I just didn't want to work for someone. I just knew I was meant for more in this world. Like God put me through all this stuff. I knew I was meant for more, and I'm like, I shouldn't be working for someone. It doesn't make sense. 2 and 2 is not 5. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt about it. So those are two things that separated me, and I always just wanted to be free. I always felt like I wasn't free. I always felt like I was always just, honestly, just labeled and just not. I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel free now. I don't really know how to describe that one. I'll get back to you on that, but yeah. So I had a few whys. So if this one didn't work today, this one worked. This one didn't work. This one worked. But the dark side, you got to be able. There's so much that goes into it. So much, just like you were saying. Like that's just videos right there. Like, but the mental, how much energy you have to put into that, and you still have a life around outside of that. You have to be able to balance. Balance is everything. But if you don't have balance, you're just gonna fizzle out, or you're not gonna have friends. Whatever it might be, you got to figure it out. However, you're gonna be able to do it. But for me, my biggest struggle still is just staying organized. You don't have a boss. You don't have some assistant. Like this is just you. You got to figure it out. So just staying organized. Be able to take rejection. You have to be able to take rejection. I can't tell you how many. There was a point in my life whenever I was starting up. I'm sending about 100 emails, DMs a day. I'm talking. I've sent 50,000 emails. I swear I have.
Yeah.
No, that's exaggerated. 25,000. We'll say 25. But how much did I get back? I have no clue. But maybe 2%, 1% of just a message back. But you have to be able to take rejection. That shouldn't be able to discourage you. It should amplify you and fuel you to push for more. So just stuff like that. What else is a dark thing of that? Your equipment going out on you. What are you going to do to improvise? Like you got to figure stuff. You just got to figure out. You just got to be able to be quick on your toes when you're in this industry. Honestly. Yeah,
I think the one of the things that I thought about was when you were talking about the freedom. I wonder if it's control that you feel like you have now, right? Where it's like, hey, like I'm the one who's dictating my life, right? And one of the things that I realized that I felt was when I was in the corporate world, it was security based, right? So I know that Friday, that check's hitting at 8 a.m. when I go into work, and I know exactly what it's going to be. And that feels really good because I know I'm going to invest this amount, I'm going to put this in the savings, and this is going to be for some luxury things that I want to buy on Amazon or whatever. And then once I got out of that world, I realized that there wasn't that security, yet I had freedom. And when I was in that world, I had security, yet I didn't have freedom.
Yeah.
Right? So I think one of the things I realized was, as human beings, which one do you value more? Are you more interested in security, in safety, or are you more interested in freedom and doing what you want to do? Because both of them have their pros. And both of them have their cons. And that was the huge part that I realized when I had initially made the jump into full-time entrepreneurship. I remember talking with my coach and being like, I can literally do whatever I want. And I've never had that feeling. You don't have a boss telling you, hey, you can't take that many vacation hours. You don't have a boss saying, I want you in at 8 and I want you to leave at 5, or work as many hours as you want, but yet you still have to work hours for this company. And it's kind of like, ooh, I don't really like that. It's like, you don't know me. It's like, you don't know what I've been through or where I've come from. And that then started to grind the gears a little bit. And it's like, I want something more. And I'm willing now to give up some of that security because I feel more free. Right? And I feel like I can go create more. And I think that's a really valuable thing. Really a very important piece about that, because you have like that control. So one of the things too I wanted to shift over into, because you were talking about that rejection, right, and the no, and that takes a lot of grit, and that takes a lot of resilience. And I can't help but to believe that just wait on it mindset, resilience, right, grit, right, working hard. How do you think, What do you think young men struggle with today when it comes to resilience and grit?
Young men today are just softer, and I think social media is making them softer. There's some that are dogs still, and I've met some of the dogs, and I'm like, I love it. I love it. I'm like,
and those are the guys who are just going to propel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The guys who are like, they manage the social media. It's like, listen, I know all this stuff's here, yet I'm still waking up at 5:30 and going
and getting your stuff done. Yep. Some people leverage it, and some people fall victim to it. But your question was,
what are they missing?
What are they missing
when it comes to that grit, that resilience?
It's like hard work is not. I don't want to say it's not valued anymore, but we could say there's two different ways it can be with it right now. Like it's just like everything is just shifting. So like even we could say this like the female power right now. You know how they're taking over that boss lady power and all that. That's making men feel weak. That's making them feel weak because they're just becoming this more successful. They're reaching out. They're talking more. Like that's one way of like just viewing it. For me, us coming from sporty, NIL deal, you have that. You don't have to work hard to get to the league anymore. You just get your money and run. Like you don't have to. There's nothing to work toward. So it's just like everything's just. I don't want to say they're expecting everything to come along easy. And when it doesn't, it might hurt your mental a little bit, and you're just not doing anything at all. But some people are stepping up.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I think right now we are in an effort crisis.
Effort crisis.
An effort crisis, and here's why I think we're in this is because of what you said with social media and technology. Technology is essentially created to minimize effort, right? Which is tough because like you think about Uber or you think about the DoorDash, Instacart, right? Those are great services.
Wow, you're getting somewhere.
Right? They're great services. They help. Like when I'm online, when I'm doing all my work and I just go on real quick and order my groceries, then they're there in 3 hours. That's fantastic. It saves me 2 hours of my life, right? At the same time, I didn't have to put the effort in of getting in my car, of grocery shopping for an hour and a half, and then driving back home. So I think a lot of younger people have grown up with a phone in their hand, with the availability to use this technology, and it's just taught them how to not put forth effort towards things. And I would even go a step further where it's like, what is the effort or what are you putting effort towards? Like where in your life are you trying to do something and you're not getting what you want? I think that builds a lot of character.
Yeah.
Right? Like what are your thoughts about that?
I was just trying to think about it. What's missing is the thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'm stumped on that one, honestly.
I think we're allergic to effort right now.
Allergic to effort. Yeah.
Right? Like you think about, right, we're at this awesome place right now. You walk through that gym and there's 20 people in there working their ass off. You walk through that and you're like, this is good for the world. It's good to see people working hard towards something. Right? Like, and that's why I wanted to start with your story, because I think you're really good at giving effort.
Thank you.
Right? And that's why, like,
I think you are too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's like, I think about the people in my life who I want in my life. I want those people to be damn good at giving effort, because I think those are high character people. And a quick way to know if somebody can give effort, look at the way they look. Right?
Yeah, that's
like
real.
To be, if I want to be completely surface level and judgmental here, I can tell if you can give effort towards something just based upon, if you have a six-pack, I know 10 things about you already, right? It's one of my most favorite lines, right? I know you know how to give effort. I know what's required to get that.
Can I tell you something? This was interesting. Back in 2019, I met the strength conditioning coach. Walked into his office for the first time. He just said, show me your hands. Started with that.
Yeah.
He looked at him. He saw all the calluses and all that. That's how it started. That started everything.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I had a girl. I was with a girl once who said that her father told her to never trust a man who didn't have calluses on his hands.
Hey, I love it. You gotta have calluses for something,
right?
Something. Yeah.
Whether it's weights, whether it's wood, right? Like, what are we using? I mean, especially as men, right? I want strong hands as men, right? Like, I don't know what that is about it, but to have calloused hands is another indicator of that effort, right?
Yeah.
That's such an interesting thing to think about.
Not really. Have you met any guys without callus? I don't think we surround ourselves with it.
The guys who I have met with soft little squishy hands, it's just kind of like
weird.
All right, whatever. Right? Maybe you're not in the tribe. It's good. Like, I'll be your acquaintance. It's like, yet I don't think you're the guy who I'm going to be deadlifting with at 4:30 in the morning. Probably not. You're not the guy who's going to be laying in a pile of his own sweat and blood after a workout. Probably not. Right? I want those guys, right? Or those girls, right? Wherever they are. It's like, those are the people that you want in your tribe to hold you accountable to those things. Right? We're the people who don't have snooze buttons, right? Things like that. So I know we just went off on the effort tangent, but I think people need to hear that. I think people need to hear that stuff. So let's swing it over to relationships.
Okay.
Because we've had some nice long car rides where we've talked about relationships and how to manage those things. So what are guys struggling with when it comes to relationships?
So here's the number one, and this is now this new day and age, but I fell victim to it in the past too. We want to have a woman. This is just past me. You want to have a woman, but you don't feel secure in your life, and you're just in and out the whole time because you don't feel like you're at a place that you need to be to provide. We're providers, and if you don't feel that, it's just playing games with the girl, playing the games. You're keeping them on a string. You don't know what you want. You know what you want, but you don't know how to, because you don't have what you need, that you feel that you need. And it's just going to be a teeter-totter. I feel like that every time I have a conversation with someone, it's just that. And talking to girl, like female friends, same thing. I'm just like, I was there before. I did the same thing. I understand what it means now. But I think that's the biggest thing, like, with it. And then also, a lot of people aren't communicating. And that's my biggest, that's just number one. Now you have to communicate. You have to understand this person. That person has to understand you, because y'all come, like I was talking about earlier, y'all have seen through a different scope through your entire life. This is a person that's going to take up a lot of your time. Like, y'all have to be able to operate in cahoots. Like, y'all have to. You have to communicate.
I heard a line once that said, all conflict arises from a lack of alignment.
Yes.
Right? Like, if I set my expectations and that person agrees with those expectations, I mean, think of, like, from like a business standpoint, right? I will provide you this service for this amount of money in return. Sign the contract, boom. It's like clear-cut expectations. I think relationships should be the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I never navigated it like that, but like in the future, like I would do.
when we find those women, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I want to stay on this thing of relationships, because I think a lot of guys are, like, the one thing you said that I really liked was, like, making sure that we are good before we actually become cohabitants with somebody else, right? And I did a podcast, actually the first podcast we released with my buddy Brandon, and we talked about, like, taking a couple years to actually work on yourself, right? And develop yourself as this man that is a desirable product for whoever you want to love, right? Whoever that is. Yet, what's the value that we bring to the world, right? So if a man wants to increase his value, what would you recommend he does?
If a man wants to increase, he got to start working out. That's number one.
That's the first thing I thought. First thing I thought. Yep.
That's always going to do it. Like, you can start a whole life from just working out. Now, where are you working out? You can build connections for business, like where you're working out. What types of workouts are you doing? Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of different things you can do with working out. You can just build a whole community. You can build a whole business just working out. That's one way to increase your value. But I think that's just the ripple effect. From that, you can just increase your value with anything you're doing. Because now working out, there's just so many different things with it. Like, now you're setting goals and you're accomplishing big goals. That's just increasing your value. Accomplishing big goals, you might make a little bit of money. you're meeting some valuable people, you're increasing your value, you're just going up the scale. There's so many different things you can do, but working out is number one. It's just number one.
It's number one, dude. And I completely agree with that. And one of the things too that I think is very important to hit on is the difference between being alone versus lonely. I think being lonely is this state of, I don't have anybody else, nobody likes me, I'm lonely. And I think being alone is this intentional decision to say, no, I need to spend a little time alone to actually be good with who I am. Right? Like one of the things you said earlier was, you got you, right? You're like, I'm me. Like, I know what I value, right? I know what I've been through. I got my story. So your validation of me, like, I'm good, right? And that takes a hell of a journey to get to that point. Because I think there's a lot of people who require a lot of external, hey, DC, you're doing good in life. Oh, great. I just wanted to make sure I was. So have you ever thought about that distinction between like the lonely versus the alone and like the value of it?
I haven't really, but I discussed with you before about a loneliness. Like I got with someone because I felt like I was lonely years ago, many years ago. But I did that because I wasn't, it was around like COVID. Like I just wasn't around people at all for, especially females, for like at least 10 months to a year.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Which is not good for the mental health.
At all. And then it's like I hopped on the first thing that was there. And I mean, obviously I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, oh, this is cool. Let's try this out. And then after that was done, I had to reflect and wonder why I did that. And in that moment, all that time of not having anybody around, I was lonely. But I've also been alone, and I'm all right with being alone. I've been alone for a lot of it, and I forced myself to be. And in COVID, it's like it made the decision for itself. Like that wasn't my choice. I didn't get to do it this time. And then I went into that next thing, not knowing what I was doing, but I was lonely because I was just so far away from everybody. My life I didn't feel like I was doing enough in my life or like whatever it might have been. But I do see the distinction now after you just described that. But now it's like, you're never alone. You can be alone if you want to be, but you're never alone. Like I got God, so I'm always gonna be good. I'll never fall into that trap again of thinking I'm actually lonely. Yeah. Because there's people. You have people. We all have people. Someone out there that cares about you or something like that. So like you're never alone.
Yeah. You know, I'm happy you said that because that's one of the things that I've been leaning a lot into is God, and believing that there's something way bigger than all of us. Right? We are flawed, sinful beings. And we're going to mess up. And we're going to make decisions that we think are right in the moment. And then we're going to look back and be like, wish I would have done that differently. And frankly, that is part of the experience. Right? We're not going to make the right decision every time. And I've leaned more into talking to God and praying to God and saying, hey, God, like, I'm going to, surrender to you and let you kind of guide me of where I should go. Right? Because I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know what next week holds. I have an idea, yet it could all change. So how did you kind of lean into that?
I feel like I grew up in the church. Yeah. So very, very interesting upcoming in the church, brother. So I went to a Catholic school when I was younger, but I also went to my church outside of school, a Methodist Baptist church. So I had that, and I was also Catholic, doing communion, going to mass. Like I'm doing two different things. So I don't know, maybe I didn't really know what religion was. I was just like, okay, I do this. I know what that is. So it was very interesting, but I grew up in the church, always had to go to church and all that. When you're younger, you don't really care, I guess. But I knew I had to go to church. Yeah. And then I guess as soon as I went off on my journey, that's where God actually got important to me. Like Yo, so you're the person that's been here this whole time? Okay, I need some guidance. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now, but could you help out, please? But there's just been a lot of, like I said, I'm a risk taker. I do a lot of things that I know I'm gonna make it work out somehow. I don't know how. It can seem impossible, but I'll make something shake. But I can only do that with God. Like, I gotta pray. I gotta pray and ask Him for direction, and it's always given in some way, because people, they hear that, they're like, oh, so you're just praying, it just things just happen. But
do you have any examples of that, like the things happening? Because I think that's a very important point, right? Because like I was one of those people where I'm like, what do you mean? So like when things happen, what does that look like?
I got one right now. This is a special one to me. So remember back in the day when I was living at the frat house doing the trash job, at this time I was doing the trash job, I was a personal trainer, and I was doing lift. So I wasn't getting any sleep. And I was still doing my crazy workouts. My body's destroyed. Yeah. I'm just tired. So one night on the trash job, brother, I'm walking up the stairs. I'm so sore. I don't know. I just did another hard workout. But I'm just so sore, just confused, lost. I'm listening to this podcast. So during the trash job, I knew I hated it. And I was just so embarrassed to do it. But I was like, learn something at least while you're doing this. I always listen to podcasts, try to learn something. So I was listening to Oprah's Masterclass when she still had that. And I was listening to a podcast with Tyler Perry. And Tyler's just talking about his journey. It's actually wild. I think he was like 33. Packed up his car, tried to go he tried to jump into like the TV industry in Atlanta. I think it was like 1991. But he's 33. So that was like another reminder, like, you're good, dog. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's
Tyler
a very
Perry
important point.
So major right now, like 500 million. Yeah. So he's just talking about he got denied from like having a show or something from like 1991, 1992, 1993. But in 1994, denied. 1995, 1996, 1997. But in 1998, he's in, I'm probably going to chop this up, butcher this a little bit, but I think he's in Chicago at this famous theater or something. They barely sold tickets, and the heaters broke in the arena. It's Chicago, all right? So he's there putting on his costume for Medea, and he feels like he has nothing left, and he just prayed to God. He said he dropped his knees, prayed to God, like, Lord, if this is what I'm supposed to do, I put in all my time and effort. This is my life. This is what I'm supposed to do. Please, just give me a sign, because I have nothing left. Like, this is it. This is it. So he said this prayer, and they say he heard people outside. There was just people wrapped around the block, and then he looked out there and he just started weeping. Like there was like 30 tickets sold or something like that, and all these people are out here for this show. I forget how much it was, but it was not 30. It was a lot more. And he was like, I knew I arrived. I heard that. I was like, Lord, you made me listen to this right now. Like I'm walking up. I remember I can't wait to go back to this location. This specific. I'm just walking up these stairs holding. I have like 6 trash bags in here because I didn't want to walk to the dumpster. I'm like, Lord, I know you made me listen to this right now. Like all this stuff I'm doing with working out. Like if this is like what I'm supposed to do as my base to whatever else I'm supposed to do for my future self, please, I need a sign. I know you made me listen to this. I need something. I'm saying this at about 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m. At 10:30, I got the phone to be on American Ninja Warrior. It was like fake. Listen, I applied. Dude,
that almost makes you cry.
The day before, bro. Jeez. I think I applied the day before. This is. They get 95,000 applications. They called me after hours. There's just a lot of different things that I'm like, there's no, thank you.
What was that feeling?
Bro, no, that was like gas.
Yeah, I would
gas.
say that's kind of like.
I'm like, no way. Like, I just now felt that rush go through my body because I'm like, wow. I'm at my lowest right now. I feel like I'm at my lowest, and then he just give me a little pick me up right there.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed in that moment, at least for that situation.
You know, it's wild how that works, because I feel like for people who do believe in God or some higher power, and they ask for a sign, right, or for some guidance, and what that looks like, we all have these little stories like that where it's like, no, I didn't know what to do, and then this crazy coincidence happened. It's like, that's not a coincidence. It's like, that was something bigger.
And then this is where people get lost. That was just that moment of timing. Oh, there's been things that's been spanned out for years.
Yeah.
I asked God for this, and He gave it to me, but He showed me. He showed me it. So, Bible verse right here. You do not realize what I'm doing now, but later you will understand. This is so powerful to me because everything, like me slipping up saying that changed my life.
Yeah.
I had a slip up. I didn't even know. Like, I'm praying to God. I'm praying to, like, I don't know what's going on in my life. Like, because I didn't want to hurt myself. Like, I'm praying to God.
Yeah.
And my slip up was the blessing, and I didn't know it. Changed my life completely.
When my grandfather passed away, so I was very, very close to my grandfather, and he passed away from cancer. That was really hard for me, and I was lucky to have a lot of really good people around me to help me get through that. And one day I was doing 75 hard actually when he passed away. I was on my second workout outside, and I decided to do a completely silent and just talk to God the whole time. And right when I was about to end, I said, God, can you show me a sign that maybe my grandfather's still with me here in spirit? And as I said that, I looked down and there was a red leaf that was shaped exactly like a heart. And the wild thing about it is, before he passed away, I finished this tattoo on my arm. And on my wrist, I have a heart with wings. Try not to get emotional telling this. I have a heart with wings that are flying up, and everything above my elbow is for people who aren't here anymore, for my two grandpas, or excuse me, for my two uncles and my grandpa. And the sun is on my elbow, so it's like, hey, if it's above the sun, it's in heaven. And I got this for a completely different reason, and he never saw it. And so this is the heart that was flying up to heaven. And when I asked it, I saw the heart right on the ground. And I remember looking at the heart and being like, oh, and it was that same feeling where like it hits you, and you can still feel it right now, right? It hits you and you're just like, ah, right? And it's like, there's something bigger. There's something that is not human form that I can talk to and that can support me when I really need it, or even when I don't need it, right? Like, he's always going to be there with you. And that's kind of comes full circle to that love.
Yes.
Right?
You just made me think of another situation, if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah, share it.
Bro, that's beautiful. I love that you're you don't have randomness on your body.
No,
bro.
it's all
It
for
tells a
something.
freaking
It's all for
story.
something.
That's lovely. Like, bro, just above the sun. I didn't even know. I should have asked you
the-
about your
That's
tattoos.
the sun. Yeah, the sun is here,
Yeah.
and then everything above it is for heaven, right?
Wow.
And the fish, so there's a fish, and we used to fish at my grandpa's, and when he passed away, we no longer did it. And so I have 3 roses, and so the 2 roses are for my uncles who passed away, and then my grandpa who passed away, and then the fish swims through all of them. And then on the inside, I have no man is guaranteed tomorrow. Store your riches in heaven where rust and moth will not destroy. So it just reminds me that we might not be here tomorrow, so let's have a good day today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's that's what a lot of that type of these young men need to get right with the Lord. That's number 2 now. Yeah, so work out. You need to get right with the Lord. Number 1.
Get right with the Lord. Get right with the Lord and work out.
Yeah, bro. You have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have some type of relationship further than this world, because this world will beat you into the ground.
Yeah, dude.
You got to have something more, man, and that's why we're just 2 powerful human beings, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of a situation. There's just one more of you saying like, how did God like? So I was in another situation. So now it's time to get out of the frat house.
You don't want to stay there anymore?
No.
Were you partying with these guys? I mean, were you like,
I
you might as well have a little fun.
I was living the ASU life. I was the frat boy. I was part of the frat. So hear me out, bro. When I was living there, when I say living there, it wasn't easy even living there. Mm-hmm. Listen, bro, they called me, like the maintenance when they came in, they called me a squatter. Could you imagine me called a squatter?
Probably doesn't feel too good.
Oh my gosh, it's like you're the lowest of the low. You have to break into somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, bro, every day I had to pack up all my stuff and like put it in my buddy's room. And then every night when I got back late, I had to hurry up and get it out, put it out. Bro, it was very stressful.
Yeah.
But I had a roof over my head, so that was awesome. But now it's time to go because they have to like fix up the dorms for the next class that comes in. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was just talking to God. I was like, God, I have no clue what I'm about to do. I'm just working this trash job. Still just working this trash job. I don't have enough money to get a place or anything. Like, my friends ain't really my friends. You showed me that a while ago. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know what to do. And something just said, just go to the coffee shop and work on your course. Just go work on it, because you knew that's what I was trying to build. I was like, all right, I can at least do this personal training thing online. So I went to the coffee shop. There's this dude I met once before. Saw him again today. We had a cool conversation first time. Saw him again today, starting to get all my stuff. He's like, what's going on with you, man? I was like, not much, just working on the course. Da-da-da. He's like, what's wrong with you? No, something's wrong with you, DC. Your energy, your spirit, something's different right now.
Like it was low or high?
Low.
Okay.
He noticed that off rip, but I thought I was fine. He's like, all right, I'll share something personal with you if you share something personal with me. I'll go first. And he shares something very deep with me. I can't believe he shared it with me, but he trusted me with it just like that. And I shared with him, like, I don't know I have no clue what I'm about to do. Like, I can't sleep in my car again, because I already went through Tennessee sleeping in my car. And I'm like, I don't want to do this again. That was just miserable. And I have to be cold to sleep. So at least it was winter there.
Yeah.
It's the hot summer in Arizona. So I'm like, I can't do this again. But anyways, I started talking to him. He sat there with me. He's like, let's pray. So we're praying. Pray. Cool. He's like, what's your number? He sent me $20 from food. I had no money. I literally had no money. I don't know how I even got that. But I had no money. It was wild. He sent me $20. That I know how to strategically use $20, bro. I knew how to do it at that time. So that's like eating 4 days, bro. I'm just like, what? Like, thank you. What? And I don't like accepting anything for anybody, bro. I've never, in the deepest, darkest moments, I've never asked for anybody. I have never asked for anything. I've never, ever. He gave me that $20, and then he just let me continue to work. And then I went to another coffee shop after maybe an hour or something like that. And he got my number, and he was like, I hope you don't mind, DC, but I put your situation in my prayer group on Facebook, and you have an army of prayers coming your way. And then in that moment, I just felt love. And I'm like, where does this come? Why is this dude doing this? Like, he is a stranger. I met him twice now. Why would he do that? Bro, and then that next message, I'll always feel this one. Just like you said, bro, like, I love being able to remember.
Yeah.
Bro, the next message was just another one. Just, it's part of my identity. Just love, bro. Like, I'm not big on, I was scared of the word. I was scared to even tell my Aunt Tracy. She's the one to save me, until, like, I swear after this moment, that's where I wasn't uncomfortable saying, bro, so petrified saying I love you to anybody. Friends say, love you, man. Aunt Tracy, love you. Nothing. Yeah. I'm petrified, because I felt like if I gave that power, someone's going to, I don't know what it was, bro. It was just that trauma.
Yeah.
The message that came said, and I hope you don't mind, but I raised $317 for you after putting that in the thingy. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Wept like a baby, bro. I cried. Last time I cried was when my mom died. Yeah. I wept like a baby at 25, 26 years old. I couldn't stop. It was uncontrollable, bro. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was broken. Bro, I couldn't stop crying. And I just couldn't understand it either, bro. I had to go to the restroom and just sit there, bro. I couldn't stop. Yeah. Flooded, bro. Flooded. I felt so alone. Mm-hmm. I felt lonely.
That's the lonely.
I felt so lonely.
Yeah.
I felt so lonely at these times, bro. And then with this big burst of love from a stranger, bro, made me weep like a baby, dog.
That's what love can do, right there.
Man.
And that's probably what love feels like.
The song that was playing in my headphones at this time too. You know, Brother?
Brother?
Uh-huh.
No.
By Need to Breathe.
No.
Brother, let me be your shelter. I hear that, bro. I'm like,
that's one of those songs, like, right?
There you go,
it connects to something bigger.
Brother, let me be your shelter. Whenever you need something, I'm here. Yeah. Like, bro. All right.
That's why I wanted to talk to you today, DC, right there. So we talk about real shit.
Yeah, real shit.
Real shit. All right, let's end with one last question.
Yes.
So the whole Be That Guy program, brand, movement is about what we can do as men to be that guy. Fill in the blank, that type of guy that you want to be. Be that guy who's there for others. Be that guy who listens to your friends, your family, your loved ones. We talked about a lot today, from God to exercise to content creation, resilience, right? What's one thing that a guy could do today to be that guy forever?
plan on going to church tomorrow. Find God. If you don't have God, that's just one way. If you have God, cool. You work out, cool. Set some goals for the week. Just set some small goals. You don't have to do anything crazy overnight. Just set some small little goals of something you say you're about to do last year, beginning of the year. Something that you made it a goal at the beginning of the year, like New Year, New Me. Go back to that. Do it tomorrow. It's not too late. You might feel like it's too late because you stopped at a certain time. Just get it done. You got it? Like just get it done. Start with those little things. Just start with the little things, and then that will just help you. That will help you with your discipline. That will help you become consistent with whatever you're doing, and then that just opens up so many other doors of opportunity. So like, just one of those three. If you're already right with God, don't get right with God. Go get right with God. If you're not right with God, you know what I'm saying? Like, so work out God and write some goals. Write some goals, and surround yourself with people that believe in you. That's an important thing.
Yeah.
You have to have those people. You can't have those people that's just going to keep bringing you down, because that's how you're going to feel. Like you're just gonna. You are. What is it? What do they say? Like you are.
You become the average of the 5 people.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So if you have all these people bringing you down and stuff, that's not going to help you. You got to surround yourself with other types of people. Oh, I don't know how to find those. There's everything. Everything's free out there today. Go to a run club. Oh, you're in Nebraska. Go to the bowling alley. I know there's bowling tournament. Like go do something. Just get outside.
Yeah.
Go to a coffee shop. Say what's up to the barista. Make it a goal to meet 10 people every day. When I got to Arizona, I had to meet at least 7 people every single day the first month, and I did that. Like just meeting people. You never know where that conversation is going to go, and then that led to things like that helped me out in the future. Like, oh, bro, yeah.
So there's like 5 things.
There's like 5 things. There's just so many
You got
things
God,
you can do.
exercise, people, goals, and go do things. Go get out into the world.
Yes.
Right. Well, DC, I want to say thank you, man.
I appreciate you.
We met because my roommate was moving out, and you were in the Facebook group, and I reached out to you, and we started chatting, and then you were like, dude, you should come to this run club. Came to the run club, and then we just started hanging out after that, because I think we both could learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And so I want to say thank you to you for your time today and diving into everything that we talked about. And I want to say thank you for your friendship too, brother. It's an honor to be your friend, and you helped me be a better man. So thank you.
Well, I would love to say all that same stuff back to you, but you already hit it all. It's reciprocal. The feeling is mutual, bro. You already know. No, but thank you for your time to even like feel that you could have me on your podcast, bro. Like it means a lot. It really does.
You're welcome, dude.
Bro, I really do appreciate you, dog. And even if we didn't meet in that Facebook group, we would have met. We would have met somewhere in this life somehow. We would have still met. It was meant to be.
Amen, brother. What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into the show. If you got something useful or something entertaining from today's episode, all I ask is that you give us a like or a rating, or even write a review. This helps a ton with getting this podcast out to other young guys so they can hear this information. Thank you so much for all of your support, and keep being that guy. We'll see you guys.